Okay, now we're up in Bruce's upper fish room that you've seen many times before. And oh my God, the tanks look so much more active now that you've got that massive fish catch last time. Look at the smirk on his face from that last trip. So Bruce, talk to me about what you've been doing up here. And we'll start with the, what's that, a 20?
That's the 38 gallon.
38 gallon right behind you.
Yep. And I added more rummy nose, rasbora, and cardinal tetras to the tank. There were only a couple left of each one of those. Well, I think maybe there was half a dozen rummy nose. But I added 8 rummy nose, 25 cardinal tetras, and about 15 of the rasbora. And the rasbora are doing exceedingly well.
I was going to say, they really do look sharp. I haven't seen a school that size.
Yeah, and the color is excellent on them.
Yeah.
And they enjoyed the microworms as well.
Huh. And so, do you recall what we paid for those cardinal tetras?
$7 a piece.
$7 a piece. Yeah, that helped get that buy up there.
Oh yeah.
And they're beautiful. I'm just zooming in on them now so that people get some sense of, you know, it's a problem watching these because I'd say the average fish keeper out there can't afford to populate a beautiful tank like this with $7 fish and have a school this big. But, you know, we're at that stage in life, right?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people just think of it in terms of, I mean, some of the places will sell cardinal tetras for like $3 a piece, I think.
Right.
But the quality that you're getting is often very inferior.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm willing to pay if the quality is there.
Yeah, and the plants are gorgeous, especially the deep reddish plant right over your shoulder that is in the left-hand corner of that tank.
Oh, it's a cordata, Cryptocrin cordata.
Okay. Look at the size of the leaves on that. That is beautiful.
It
Really
does well
nice.
in a somewhat shaded environment. When an Amazon grows, it gives it more shade.
Uh-huh.
Because this time before you came, I had a chance to do my servicing of the tanks. I did the 70% water change on all the tanks.
70%.
Yeah.
Wow.
Once a month I do 70%.
What do you do weekly?
I don't do anything.
Just
weekly.
once a month?
Just once a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and we're coming over to the other side of the room here, and we've got, what do we got in this tank these days? This is the, what size?
This is a shrimp tank.
And so this is, how many?
There's a few dwarf Corydorus catfish in there.
So you have,
They only grow to about 1.5 inches.
okay, and this one's got some algae on the bottom half of the tank there, so it looks clear up top, and then we can't see the catfish down below. This was the one you had the endlers in originally.
Originally, yes.
They didn't make it, huh?
eventually
Long
just
term?
died off. Yeah.
Okay. Are you looking
I'd
to
like to get some more of those endlers again.
All right, we'll keep an eye out for them, huh?
But the shrimp have been thriving very well.
Good, good.
My grandson came over and said, "You have too many shrimp in that tank."
And over in the corner we have your Fish Frenzy feeders.
Yeah, that's my tank of activity.
Boy, those tetras look gorgeous with those fins with that edge that almost looks fluorescent.
Yeah, they're all males. A lot of places only sell males because they are more colorful than the females.
Uh-huh. Well, they look beautiful. And you keep your plants well under control. My tanks, I'm too busy with some other things to really keep up with them, and I've got to go in there and really trim them all back to catch up with you. But
you got to get over the feeling you have that you're a killer when you throw the plants out.
Well, that's true, but I got to tell you, the last time
there, I think you were bringing me plants so you wouldn't have to kill them.
Well, the last time we talked, I told you I had a problem with the big pleco in the corner tank.
Yes, I remember, and you solved that problem.
We talked about it, and I shared it with Pam what we were thinking of, and before I could get to it, I found her one day. She was stripped down and had the tank open and was going to do exactly what we talked about. Take everything out of that tank, all the plants out, and then catch that pleco and take them over to Hidden Reef and trade them in. Yeah. And we did that, but I'm going to tell you something. We had the water down about halfway, and so he was in there. there were no plants, and all the rock structure we had out of there. Could not catch them because the water was so cloudy we couldn't see them.
Couldn't see 'em.
We could see them move from one corner to the other away from us.
Understand, yeah.
Eventually did catch them and put them in a bucket. The next day took them over Hidden Reef, and they were pleased to take them on. So somebody bought themselves a nice looking pleco.
Yeah.
Now I've got the 2 plecos in the bow tank to take care of because they're getting big too. And so I've learned my lesson. Not going to get any more of those plecos.
No, get the bristle nose. They only grow about 5 inch.
And I've got the 2 bristlenose in there, the blonde bristlenose, and they're doing well. And like you said, they're much more reasonable in terms of size.
That's right.
All right, coming over now to your, what size is this one again?
55.
The 55, and the 55, as always, looks gorgeous. Look at
Feature
your,
fish, of course, are the discus.
the discus right down in the front. It's just so huge, beautiful.
3 different kinds in that tank. The orange or red, and I forget the name of the blue colored ones that I have in there. I mean, they have a specific name for that color.
Yeah,
I like it very much. And the smallest one in there is one of the electric blue discus.
I'm waiting for him to turn sideways so that we can get a nice shot of his coloration. He's head on for us, and he's got some nice color in his, above his nose there. There we go. That's better. But look at the plants in this tank. Bruce, you do so well with your plants. And this is that's thicker than you usually have them, but they're all, look at those Amazon swords. And then that lily in the left, that's the biggest lily I've ever seen.
Is that right?
It's gorgeous.
Leaf-wise, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just looking at the number of leaves, the size of the leaves, the color of the leaves, healthy as can be. And so, talk to me briefly about the fertilization program in this particular tank. What?
Well, it's the same with all the tanks.
Okay.
I just vary the food stuffs that I feed them, the liquid food.
Right.
As I said, the flourish I use twice a week. The iron I use twice a week, and the potassium is twice a week, and then just once a week for the trace elements.
And then that other.
In addition to the CO2.
Right. CO2 is daily.
Yes.
All right. And so.
And there's live CO2 in that tank working as well.
Right behind. We can't see right now because the
No,
fish are in the way, but
well,
I see what
plants
you're
too.
talking about. Right back behind them, you can
Yeah.
see that ladder with the bubbles going up the ladder, getting
That's right.
absorbed into the water. And then we have that overgrowth. I'm surprised you usually don't leave a plant that full, as I see toward the top behind.
No, I don't, but this time I decided I'd let it go. I like the looks of it.
Good, good.
And you can see this Amazon is reproducing also.
Yep, yep, looking good. And I see from the one Amazon here, it's got a flower that's out of the tank.
No,
And
that's not from the Amazon.
Okay.
It's from the Aponigeddon.
Ah, and so we can see that it actually grows out, and then it dies off, doesn't it? Because it dries out.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh no, that's a flower, isn't it?
It
Yeah,
is.
that's a flower.
The whole stem is a flower.
Very
I've written in
nice.
the book how you can nurture those and grow them yourself, but I've never gotten around to doing anything like that.
Huh.
It'd be something fun to do, just as something different.
Yeah, yeah. Well, certainly things seem to be doing very well here, Bruce. And
Take a look at the male.
oh yeah, don't forget the bed over here. Let me see if I can give him the cord. See how close I can get to him. I don't want to trip over that cord. Now, is the plan to put him in one of the tanks eventually?
Yes, one of the 29s downstairs.
Oh, okay. As opposed to one of the 10-gallon tanks.
That's right. Yeah.
And he's
And that,
gorgeous color.
That
Nice
is,
young one too.
Is what they call a elephant ear.
Oh, okay, because it's got
Because
big
it's
side.
about the big pectoral fins.
Right, right.
That they're calling elephant ears. I mean, it's not really their ears. But, you know, they got all these fancy names for the different varieties.
So they can charge more for him,
I
yeah.
usually stayed away from them. I usually bought them in the veil tails. But
Mm-hmm.
this one intrigued me, not just it's finished, but it has a unique color.
Yeah.
It's sort of a purple with some gray in it.
Yeah. And the ends of the fins are white.
Yes.
Now, why do you have it in a separate little container like that?
Well, I've still only had it for 2 weeks, so it's not out of its quarantine period yet.
Oh, I see. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful.
And I think the ones that get the most of it really are the reservoir.
Really?
Yeah.
But most of that went down to where the cardinals are, I think, right now. I missed your discus. There's 4 discus in there, isn't there?
Yeah. And you can see there's a couple of bully discus.
Yeah.
That, you know, the 2 bigger ones chase the 2 smaller ones all the time. They want to keep them from eating.
Mm-hmm.
They want all the food to themselves.
Well, everybody's getting at the food, that's for sure.
Yeah. And the electric blue discus in here, I think, look really good.
They do look nice. But yeah, those big ones do keep the other ones in the corner, don't they?
Yeah, you know, I had an interesting story. One time, when I had the business, I had a kissing gourami that was getting very aggressive with all the other fish and ruling the tank he was in. I had a male betta that was an extreme good fighter. So I put him in with a fighting fish.
Right.
And he chewed all the fins off the kissing gourami.
Really?
I finally removed the betta, and I slowly nurtured the kissing gourami back to good finnage and everything again. Now at this point in time, when all his fins grew back, he no longer had the ability to close down his dorsal fin or any of his fins. He had to keep them all totally extended.
Right, extended.
And from that time on, he never bullied anything again.
Ah,
He
interesting.
I don't know whether he learned his lesson or not. I don't know if fish can do that. But he always shied away from any fish that swam near him anymore after that time.
Ah,
It was like a lesson learned,
yeah.
but I'm not sure if that's really the situation or not.
And we do tend to interpret some of this stuff in our human experience, don't we?
I know, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce, the tanks look beautiful as always. I'm totally amazed at how that big shipment of fish disappeared into the tanks, and so
Yeah.
definitely waiting to see what you do with those other 5 tanks that you don't have any fish in
I'm
yet.
looking forward to it.
You get the patience of a saint, sir. You do.
Well, I'm willing to wait. I get what I want.
Well, you certainly have come a long ways with your fish room. It's something to be very proud of, and it's a beautiful piece of work that you've done.
Thank you.
And so, with that, we will wish
Did you
Bruce.
get a shot of that painting up there on the wall?
Why don't you explain it again? Because no, I didn't capture that before.
Okay. Oh, it was given to us as a present for our wedding.
How many years ago?
Ooh, watch. Just
Oops.
bang into the
Oh, sorry.
glass there. Well, now it would be 53 years.
I was going to say, I know it was more than 50.
And the couple got divorced. The guy is apparently very talented. He appeared on Broadway in
Phantom of the Opera, you said, right?
Fantasy of the Opera, right? He was the lead player for a couple of years, and he did this painting. Anyway, his wife didn't want to see the painting and remember him after a period of time, and then finally it got to a point where she didn't care anymore. And so
Allowed
then
you to
I had
hang
to
it.
put it up on the wall. I only just got it put up a week ago.
Nice. Perfect for this room.
Yeah.
You got that blue paint. You got the naval theme with the flags, and that picture on top, and fish every place you look. Bruce.
And my one daughter-in-law is an art teacher, and she said if she had a senior in her classroom that did a painting like this, she would give them an A+.
Well, with that, we wish you a very happy holiday season coming up. It's December 7th right now, and just stopped by here in Metuchen, New Jersey to visit with Bruce after having lunch with Ray, my former fish partner, who passed away 2 years ago tomorrow, and was with his wife and his sister and his son. And so we were celebrating his life with a lunch just up the corner. But anyway, hey, thanks for the visit, and we'll be back to catch up next time around, maybe after the holidays. For now, say goodbye, Bruce.
So long.
I told her when it comes to talking, I'm the sweetest sweet talker in the world. Well, she said you better start talking if you want me to be your girl. And she said,
Go Jimmy, go. Go Jimmy, go.
well, I talked her off the floor when she said,
Go Jimmy, go.
I told her when it comes to dancing, I'm the best young